Do you feel like your texts aren't landing correctly and like you've had the same conversation 3 times? Are you suddenly rethinking everything you've ever thought or said? Maybe even your refrigerator broke. I know mine did. It was awful. And I'm sure you've heard Mercury is in retrograde. But what does that actually mean? Hi, I'm Adri, your astrological life coach and intuitive best friend. And today I want to explain Mercury retrograde in a way that makes it click. You know that weird feeling when you're stuck in traffic and suddenly you feel like you're moving backwards, but really it's all the other cars that are inching forward? Am I moving backwards even though my foot is on the brake? That's what's physically happening during a retrograde. It's not that the planet is actually moving backwards, it just looks like it from Earth. We're moving forward. Mercury is just vibing, continuing its orbit, completely unbothered by us. Also, I'm not an astronomer, so if that example wasn't your fave, Mr. and Mrs. Astronomers that are watching this because you're skeptical, feel free to correct me, educate me. I want to know every detail, and just know I wish I could see it with my own eyes. So no, Mercury isn't reversing, but from our point of view, it appears that way. And when that happens, things in our lives start to feel a little off. It's not chaos. It's a change in perception. It's a cosmic moment that asks, are you actually seeing clearly, or are you just assuming you are? So what exactly is Mercury retrograde? Remember how I said in my last video that the planets all represent a different mental function of the psyche? Well, Mercury represents intellect and communication. It rules how we take in the world and how we respond to that information. When Mercury goes retrograde, it appears to slow down and reverse its motion. Astrologically, this symbolizes a turning inward. Less outward focus, more introspection. Less objective thinking, more subjective reflection. Your mental clarity dims and your inner voice gets louder. This is why Mercury retrograde is associated with misunderstandings, tech glitches, delays and reroutes. And it's not because Mercury is out here to ruin your life, but because it's asking you to rethink how you think. Retrograde periods aren't bad, they're just different. Slower. They offer you a chance to reassess, reconnect, revise, and reflect. So here's your reminder. You're not supposed to be sprinting forward right now. You're supposed to be practicing patience. Don't hate me for saying that. Don't hate me for saying that. Mercury retrograde invites us to pause, to take stock of what's been left unsaid, misunderstood, or misaligned. Think of it as a mental detox or like a software update where you need to restart the system to install a new truth. Conversations you've been avoiding, they resurface. Ideas that felt fuzzy, they start to gain clarity, but only after you slow down. It is not the time to launch big things, but it is the time to make sure what you're working on actually aligns with what you want to say. This particular Mercury retrograde lasts from July 17th to August 11th, and it's happening in Leo. Rawr. The sign of self-expression, creativity, and identity. Leo also rules the heart. So when Mercury goes retrograde in Leo here, we're being asked, are you saying what you truly feel? Are you expressing what's actually in your heart? Are you creating from authenticity or for approval? Is your voice aligned with your identity or is it performative? Are you performing or expressing? Leo retrogrades can bring up old fears about being visible, being misunderstood, or being too much. But this is a beautiful opportunity to rewrite your self-expression story. Leo doesn't want you to think about these things. It wants you to say them out loud. So you can see how Mercury in retrograde here creates tension because it wants you to bring your subjective reality into objective expression. It wants you to speak your truth. And during this retrograde, you might find your confidence shaken or old fears around visibility and validation resurfacing. You're meant to pause and realign your voice with the truth. That's the medicine of Mercury in Leo. So, how does this actually affect you? Well, to know that, we need to know where Leo is exactly in your chart. So we need to look at which house Leo rules. If you don't know how to find your chart, check out my last video and I break it down step by step. It's linked down below. So here's an example from my birth chart. In my chart, Leo rules the 11th house of friendships, hopes, and desires. This retrograde is asking me to revisit my bigger vision. What am I really working toward? Well, this is my second YouTube video, so yeah, I think I have been thinking about that. It's also asking me to question who supports me and whether the roles in my community still feel aligned. And this is when I'm like, astrology, shut the fuck up, just at me next time. I'm noticing miscommunications and delays in launches or social media content. Like, did I keep pushing all this back because I was scared and insecure? Maybe. Yes. But I still did it. If you want to know how this Mercury in Leo will affect you, I made you a free Mercury Retrograde guide, which breaks things down house by house. It's linked down below and free to download. Journal through it this retrograde. So what do you do during this retrograde? What do I recommend to do during this time period? Journal your thoughts before sharing them. Pause before responding. Give it 24 hours if needed. And yeah, I'm talking to you. Create for you, not for applause. Revisit creative projects you've left unfinished. Practice expressing what you really feel, not just what sounds good. And forgive yourself for the miscommunications and rewrite the message. Don't rush. Don't explain yourself just to be understood. Express yourself to be real. And above all, listen to yourself before speaking to others. Because that's what Mercury in Leo wants. Not just for you to talk louder, but to speak from your heart. Say what's in your heart, even if your voice shakes. So remember, Mercury retrograde isn't here to ruin your life. It's here to reboot it. So instead of pushing forward, revisit. Instead of shouting louder, listen deeper. And when Mercury goes direct, you'll return with a voice that's clearer, stronger, and more authentic. Not just for performance, but for truth. If this resonated with you, drop a comment. Let me know what house is Leo in for you. What's been coming up for you during this retrograde? And don't forget to grab the free Mercury retrograde guide I made. It includes journal prompts and a full breakdown of what it means in each house. And if you're ready to decode your chart and step into your astrological era, my ILYSM mindset shift method is always available at lovinglyadri.com. We're not just tolerating ourselves anymore. We're intuitively loving ourselves. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me at lovinglyadri on Instagram, and I'll see you next week. ILYSM. Lovingly, Adri. Bye, guys.